So one of the things, really post 2008, we had politicians of all stripes. So again, that's the political influence, looking at falling housing prices and then looking at their constituents saying, oh my goodness, we've got people who are losing home value. Some are going into foreclosure, but for older folks, this is kind of their nest egg. So we've got to do everything and use all the policy levers to keep prices high. Well, they did that. We saw a little downturn, but then a continuation of a steady increase in home prices. And then with the COVID inflation, we saw, I'll be very concrete, and transparency for me is a fairly high value. My household and I, we purchased a house about 9 months before COVID, and then stayed in that house. And when I saw what the Federal Reserve was going to do with a slight tightening of rates, I looked at my wife and I said, look, if there's any time where studying economics is actually going to put us ahead, this is it, because we gained over 30% value in just over 2 years.
Yeah.
That is, from the political economy standpoint, that is not sort of a natural growth rate of some investment. It's completely abnormal. So we took our gains, we downsized, went to a 15-year mortgage at a very, very low interest rate. Now, what if you're on the flip side of that? What if you are a young family, a young person who's looking to go into the housing market? You're in a tight, cramped apartment, and you're saying, all right, it'd be fantastic for us to get into a home, to spread our wings a little bit, have another child. And you're simply priced out of the housing market in that way. So median home price is approaching around $400,000, and there are some startling statistics around this, that the average age of first-time homebuyers is around 38. 38. Right. Recent statistic making its rounds on Twitter was that among in the 1950s, 30-year-olds, or put it this way, 50% of 30-year-olds were married and were homeowners. Today, about 12%. And again, that's that generational inflation in the housing market only, not to mention other markets where inflation might impact family choices.